This video is brought to you by Dr. Kristen R. Bromley's Guitar Method Book Series and Online Music Academy.
Hi, I'm Dr. Kristen Bromley. Welcome to my online academy. It's so great to have you joining me here in these online lessons. In this video, I'm going to go over dominant 7 flat 5 chords. So this is going to be great. Of course, we'll take a look at a couple voicings that work really well on the guitar, and we'll jam together on a chord progression that lets us practice using these chords right along with bass and drums accompaniment. So lots of great things in this video. This video accompanies lesson 28 from my Chords and Harmony Books 1 and 2 method book. In the book, you can see an explanation for dominant 7th flat 5 chords on page 181 and 182 with some examples for the chord symbols there on page 182. The diagrams that have the chord shapes for the different types of chords that are taught in lesson 28 are on page 183, and we're going to play progression number 1 on page 184. So we're going to be on pages 181 through 184, at least that's what I'm here helping with in this video. Okay, so dominant 7th chords that have a flatted 5th. Well, these have the root, the 3rd, and the flatted 5th. So I'm demonstrating this in C, just as is written there on the top of page 182, that notated example. So C, E, and G flat, and then we've got a B flat added to that because that's the flatted 7th. So root 3, flat 5, and then flat 7. Now I can't physically play those like that, but I'll be able to play these voicings up here on the board. But we have the root, the 3rd, the flatted 5th, and then a flatted 7th. That's what these dominant 7th flat 5 chords have. And you can see there are examples on page 182 towards the top of chord symbols that we might see. So we're going to have the root plus that 7 telling us we have a dominant 7th chord. Then we're going to have something telling us that we have the flat 5. So you might see a flat 5 written there or a minus 5. It might be in parentheses, it might not. It might just follow the number 7. Those are some things that we might see when we're playing a dominant 7th chord with the flatted 5th. That's the chord symbols. Alright, let's take a look at these voicings. We've got one that has the root on the 6th string. We've got one that has the root on the 5th string. So, 6th string form and 5th string form, we've done a lot with that in this lesson series, the different types of chords that we've learned. So nothing new there. I'm going to go ahead and demonstrate these with the root at the 6th fret. So that'll be a B flat at the 6th fret on the 6th string, and then for the 5th string form, that's an E flat. Alright, so with the 6th string form, we're going to put our middle finger on the root, and then our ring finger is going to be in that same fret 2 strings higher. Our index finger is 1 fret lower than the root on the 2nd string, and our pinky is 1 fret higher than the root on the 3rd string, and we get a nice dominant 7 flat 5 chord. And that's what that one sounds like. Let's look at the 5th string form. So our index finger is going to go on the root. With this one, you'll note some differences in the fingerings with the diagram in the book versus what I have up here on the board. So in the book, it mentions to go index finger, middle finger, index finger, middle finger, ring, and pinky, which does work well. A lot of times when I'm playing this one, I go ahead and use my index finger as a bar across for those two notes. The one that's on the root, which is on the 5th string, and then the note that's on the 3rd string in the same fret. And then I use my middle and ring or pinky fingers. There's lots of different ways we can finger these. But if I use that one that I just said, I've got right there at that 5th fret, or at the 6th fret on the 5th string, I've got an E flat 7 flat 5. Now, if I wanted to switch it around and do as it says in the book, I can use my middle finger, ring, and pinky, and that is just as easy as well, or I could also just use my ring finger up there. So, for me, it kind of depends sometimes on where I'm coming from, which one I end up grabbing. If I'm already playing a dominant 7th chord, just as is, and I want to go to the flat 5, it makes the most sense to just swap out my middle and ring fingers. But if I was coming from somewhere else where I've got my hands already sort of in this fashion, it might make sense to just go to the one that's in the book. So it just kind of depends, but any of them work. A great thing to do as you're getting used to these is to just go back and forth between the two fingerings, just getting used to playing those two chords. We, though, in this video are going to go ahead and jam together on the chord progressions. So number 1 on page 184, just the root notes are written. We're going to be plugging in this chord. That progression is written so that any of the chords taught with lesson 28 in the book could be practiced with that progression. But we'll start off with C7 flat 5, or just the C, just the roots written there, and then we'll go to F7 flat 5, B flat 7 flat 5, and so on. I'm just going to use the basic do dot strumming pattern that we've used a lot as we play through these, because it's nice and simple and makes it easier to focus on learning these new chords. So this progression, as we're jamming together, will happen twice. First at a slower tempo and then at a faster tempo. It's going to be great. Let's do it. Alright, great! In the next video, we're going to take a look at dominant 7th chords that have a sharp 5. So, it's going to be great. Take care, and I'll see you again.
Thanks for watching this video. If you found it helpful, please hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. And be sure to check out more great content. You can find more information about me and my products at KristenBromley.com. Take care.